Let's talk about it. Hey, hey, let's talk about it. Hey, 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 hey. What's up? What's up? I'm your host, Killer V, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. As you see the title, once again, we here. We're gonna talk a little bit about chess, but the talk of the town is P. Diddy. You already know, and that's what we're here to talk about. We ain't here to yell. We just here to give our perspective, get our opinion, and break it down like nobody else. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But we in the building. Pull up, pull up. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear your point of view. Let me hear what y'all talking about. And let's get into it. You know what I'm talking about? So why not? Let's start talking about chess. His up and battles. All right. He had a battle against Hustle, right? Okay. All right. First of all, how's everybody out there doing today? How's everybody out there doing today? Hope everybody doing well. Hope everybody is taking care of their health. I hope everybody is stress-free and anxiety-free. You know what I mean? With this world going on right now, it's crazy out here. It's real crazy. And if you're not equipped mentally and you're not prayed up, then it's going to be a long year for you. And then life going to be long for you. It is what it is. I'm just trying to tell you. So let's go over chess situation. All right. Chess, first of all, I think he is a young legend. Okay. I think he is a young legend. I think that he has a lot of potential. I think that he's one of the best MCs out there, one of the best battle rappers out there. I think that he deserves his flowers as being as young as he was in the game and coming up and learning how to adapt and learn how to accept his position, so to speak. I don't remember him, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember him throwing up in each and every battle when he was with strictly Cave Gang. Not Cave Gang, I'm sorry, Cake Life. When he was with Cake Life, I don't remember him choking like this. My opinion is this. As coming in the game, I think that he was doing extremely well. I think his accolades have started to grow. He started climbing the charts when he battled Rock. It was a great battle. Arguments, people say he might have won that battle. When he battled Easy, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is this, he was choking a lot when he got with Cave Gang. I have two opinions on this. You know what I'm saying? He was choking a lot when he got with Cave Gang. So my opinion is this. One, when he got with Cave Gang, he was so high. He had so many accolades that the pressure mounted on him. So now he had to deliver. He had to be there. He had to perform on that level that we're used to seeing him on. So any let off or any taking the foot off the gas, guess what? No, we're gonna say you're not doing as well. But now, not even you're not doing as well, you're choking. So if you choking in at pause, so you choking in every, it's gonna be a pause moment all day long. So I'm just gonna say pause to cover all my bases right now. He's gonna have to perform to that level that we're expecting him to perform on, right? So then when you have that type of stress and have that type of pressure on you, and coming from South Bronx, we talking about a dude who had to make a bowl out of a 2-liter bottle, right? So you had to make a bowl out of a 2-liter bottle. You already know where his mental at. You already know where his stress level at. You know what I'm saying? Certain things may give him anxiety. So how is he combating that? How is he's helping himself with that? Right? Cool. So now he's battling, he's doing well. He's with Cave Gang. Now not only with Cave Gang, now he switched from Cave Gang to gun titles. But the dude, he always, I ain't gonna say always, but anytime you go in the battle and say, oh, he may win long as he doesn't choke. He may win long as he doesn't choke. He may win long as he doesn't throw up. Why do we have to say that about people? About him per se, not even people, about him and Twerk. That's the only two we have to talk about. Now, listen, everybody chokes every now and then, pause. Everybody chokes every now and then, right? So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is this. if you're choking, right, and we have to say that, either one, you have anxiety, or two, you're not prepared. It's one of the two. Now with Twerk, I'm going to say he's not prepared because he doesn't remember his raps and he don't remember his rounds. I can say that he's not prepared and it's not anxiety. With Twerk, I mean with Chess, I can say anxiety because he's hyperventilating, he's trembling, he's sweating. You know what I'm saying? So those are signs of um of anxiety. It's not acid reflux. Acid reflux is acid in your stomach, and when you burp and stuff like that, it comes up and it hurts and it burns and it hurts the stomach. Chess never said it hurts or it burns his stomach or anything like that. So it's not acid reflux, and this is why I'm saying it's anxiety, because when he's on that stage and he's performing to the levels that we're expecting him to perform on, that's pressure. When you go in front of a crowd, that's stress, that's pressure, anxiety. Started panicking, you started worrying. If I choke, what if I choke? What if I choke? You have that so much on his, he has that so much on his brain that he starts to choke, hyperventilating, start to get anxiety because he's thinking about so much, and it's called worry. You know what I'm saying? So he choked against Miss Hustle, and then he comes back and then he chokes. Who did he just battle? See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then he comes back and choke again at the academy, at Battle Academy. Now, I think the fix was in. And I'm gonna tell you why. Respectfully, if you choke on URL, who's paying you more money than any other battle league, and you choke on their league, and then you got another battle the following week, and then you do extremely well, that's not gonna look right with URL. It's not gonna sit right with them. So if you choke in that battle every round, it looks normal for you because you're a choke artist. It looks normal for you. So you know you're gonna get another play on URL, right? Exactly. So that's what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you that. Chess, you gotta get it together. You gotta get it together, man. You gotta get it together. Bill collected 3 O's you and dog walked you. He dog walked you. Yeah, he did. He did. Choked all 3 rounds. And that's not good. That shit is horrible, dog. That's horrible. I'm just trying to tell you, man. You're better than that, Chess. But I can help you, Chess. I can help you. Yes, I can help you. And what I mean, I can help you is this. You need something called ashwagandha. I did it. I did a blog on it just for you, Chess. It will be coming out. I just got to do some editing on it. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an herb that's going to help you with your anxiety. If you want to know more about ashwagandha, check out my blog that's going to drop either later on tonight after this live is over. I'm going to edit it and everything like that, and then put it out there, and you'll get to see what ashwagandha is and how it helps people in regular life, period. If you stress, if you have anxiety, or you just worry about things. If you have kids, you're stressed. If you have a job, you're stressed. If you're living in America, you're stressed. If you don't have a job, you have anxiety. If you think your lady cheating or your man cheating on you, have anxiety. If you have a meeting to go to, you may have anxiety. And I think that's what Chess has. But other than that, I just think that with Bill Collector and with Chess, I think it was nasty work. I really do. I just think it was not good. I don't think it was he wasn't clean. Bill Collector was crazy with it. He was crazy with it. But Chess, I'm here to tell you, baby boy, get your stuff together and you'll be one of the best in the game. You will be one of the best in the game. You hear me? You'll be the best, one of the best in the game. And that's hands down. Hands down. You know what I'm saying? But all that choking and stuff, that has to stop, man. That's not it. That's not it. You better than that. Rock, you supposed to be helping him. You supposed to be his old head. You supposed to be sparring with him. You supposed to make sure he got it down pat. You supposed to go through all the channels with him. So I fought you too, Rock. I fought the whole gun titles. Well, I guess it's just you left, right? Right. I blame all y'all. I blame each and every last one of y'all. But hit that like and the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of April. And I need y'all to help me do that. I need y'all to help me do that. So I think that's about it about Chess. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to beat a dead horse. But he has to get it together. He has to know what he needs to do. So he's saying he's not drinking before the battle. He says he's not eating before the battle. He's not drunk before the battle. He's not smoking for the battle. So what is it? Only logical explanation is what? Anxiety. I know people don't want to say that. And people say, oh, he got anxiety, oh, he has this. But I focus on the solution. I don't focus on the problem. I know the problem, but what's the solution? So like I said, hey, Chess, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Hit my Twitter account. It's Let's Talk About It 1414 on Twitter. V Guaranteed 1 VEEGARANTEED 1 on Instagram, or Let's Talk About It 1414 on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Or just leave a comment here. I'll get back with you. Trust me. And whatever y'all want to talk about, put it in the comment. Put it in the comment. Put it in the comment. Yeah. Put that thing in the comment. Like I said. But man. So that's enough about chess. Chess, get yourself together. Do what you gotta do. Make sure that you are as well rested. Make sure that you're focused. And the only way you're gonna be able to do that if you take some ashwagandha or some melatonin to calm you down, one or the other. Okay. Now, what's y'all thoughts on this P. Diddy thing? Huh? What's y'all thoughts on that? You know what I'm saying? Me personally, the whole thing is crazy. The whole thing is crazy. It's ironic that Puffy went from Puff Daddy to Puffy to P. Diddy to Diddy. I want to say Daddy down to Love. This is the only man that I know that switches name like people switch their draws. I'm just saying it is what it is. It is what it is. But what I would say is this: P. Diddy, this ain't looking good for you, baby boy. You got Cassie. Now people say that Cassie told the feds, or did the feds subpoena her, or did they bring her for questioning? Because let's do this. Let's think about it like this, yo. Let's think about it like this. Puffy been around for a long time, right? He's been around with Biggie and Pac in that era, Jay-Z and all that. He made a lot of money, right? But he also he be fooling us a lot too. So we're gonna take a dive into P. Diddy, right? P. Diddy, Puffy Combs, right? He managed Bad Boys. He was with Biggie, right? Right. Allegedly, Tupac in the elevator. They saying that Puffy has something to do with it, right? This is in the beginning, right? Now you continue to go fast forward a little bit on him and East Coast, West Coast type of beef or whatever the case may be, right? Now Puffy is getting into the industry. He's getting heavily into the industry. He got Mace. He got Craig Mack. He has Biggie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure he has Total. He doesn't have 112 yet. He doesn't have, and he also has Junior Mafia, right? So we have all these talent, the whole crew. He has the Locks, right? He has everybody. But he's not paying nobody. He's taking a royalties. He's taking a publishing. He's taking everything. So all the artists is broke. He had Mary J. Blige at one point. Everybody's broke. What's the 411? What's the 411? Yeah, all that. What's the 411? Obviously, they didn't get any information from him because he took all y'all money. That's crazy. Signing 360 deals. So anything that y'all do, he gets a piece of it. But I don't fault y'all because that was still in the beginning stage of hip hop. And people not knowing any better, just happy to just get out the hood, just happy to get that big time paycheck, but not worrying about the spins, not worrying about the points on the album, not worrying about. I might be going a little too far for y'all. My bad. But so as you go, then Biggie makes Life After Death, right? They promote that Life After Death. Awesome, nice song. Then you get a couple other albums. Then all of a sudden, Biggie happens to get killed. Okay, on that night, according to Gene, Puffy bodyguard, Biggie wasn't supposed to be out there that night. He wasn't supposed to be out there that night. Puffy called the label and said, I need Biggie out here in LA. Okay, Biggie comes out to LA. They in LA, boom, boom, they chilling, they dancing, ha ha, he. After the awards, Puffy want to hang out. They always been together. They always driving the same cars. But this one night they in separate cars, right? Biggie ended up dying. Rest in peace, Biggie. And I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna bring this full circle with the Biggie thing. I'm gonna bring it full circle. I'm gonna bring it full circle. Work with me. Work with me. Take this walk with me. Just chill. Easy. 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 You know what I'm saying? So now we so now Biggie dies or whatever. So now he gets all the other, he gets Shine and he gets 112 and things like that. He even gets with J-Lo. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget he got with J-Lo. Okay? And that famous shooting in the club. Let's not forget that famous shooting in the club. Shooting in the club. So when they shooting in the club, he has J-Lo. J-Lo publicist said, look, you have to leave him because you're just coming up. You into acting and you're trying to get into the music, but you gotta leave him. You gotta leave. You know what I'm saying? That's what the publicist had to sell it at. She ended up leaving or whatever the case may be. Shawnee ended up taking the charge. So everybody's taking charges and dying around Puffy except for Puffy, right? Time goes on. Time goes on. So let's fast forward. Ciroc. Puffy owns Ciroc, right? We all thinking Puffy owns Ciroc. Oh, this is my layer. Boom, 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 boom. Chilling. No, he don't own Ciroc. He don't own Ciroc. He don't own Ciroc. Now, let me rewind a little bit. Let me rewind with the Biggie thing. Now, when Biggie passed away, it was rumors, allegedly, Biggie was ready to leave the label and start his own thing. At this time, Mace was already out the door. Mace was already leaving. Mace already had left, right? So Biggie wanted to start his own thing. Then all of a sudden, mysteriously died. So if Biggie would have started his own thing, let's see who would have took. The Locks, right? He would have took Junior Mafia. He would have took himself. At this time, I don't know what Craig Mack. I'm not sure if Craig Mack had passed away already. Rest in peace, Craig Mack. Rest in peace, Bing. Right? Yeah, so all he would have had was 112 and Shine. Mary J. Blige wasn't on the label no more. So he had Loon, but the money makers was going to leave. The people that's making the money, 112 made some money too, but that was only one group. These people was going to make him some money. So if he leave and he takes all of them with him, where that leaves Puffy. Puffy's not Puffy who we know him today. P. Diddy's not who we know him today. If Biggie does that, he's alive, right? Because don't forget, Jay-Z wasn't even around. Jay-Z even looked up to Biggie. See, Biggie was that ball where a lot of people don't understand. You know what I mean? Cam even said on It Is What It Is that he went and spit for Biggie in front of Biggie. You see what I'm saying? So that shows you where Biggie mind was at, that he was about to get his own stuff and start his own label. Right? So now we continue to dig into this Puffy thing. So now after Puffy realizes that he's no longer can stop Biggie from leaving, my humble opinion and allegedly what some people say that he got him killed. He might not physically did it, but he got him killed. Now, you would think that if Biggie died, his royalties, his publishing would go to his mom and his son and things like that. No. I'm a tumble door. No. No. You know what he do? He doesn't give Mrs. Wallace anything. Anything. He don't give her nothing. Zero. Zilch. Zero. That's what he gets. And that's a shame. And that's a crying out shame that what he gets. So I just think that he's been doing things for a long time, doing dirty things to people. You feel me? So now, after that, fast forward, he has Ciroc now. Ciroc, ha, he. All this time, people think he owns Ciroc, but he was just a face of Ciroc, so he don't even own it. Now, he gets with Cat. Now realize he's already with Cassie, and all the stuff that he's doing with Biggie and all that type of stuff, and all the stuff that I'm saying. Meanwhile, he's still with Cassie doing what God knows whatever he's doing that she alleged that he did, that he made her sign an NDA. We're gonna get to that too. So now he with her doing the thing, boom, boom, boom. So now we're just gonna fast forward to where we are right now. To where we are right now. Right? He went with Lori Harvey. We all know that. So he liked young girls. We all know that. He liked young girls. So let's fast forward to now. Cassie was bringing up charges on him. I think I'm not sure if it was civil or was criminal, right? But he settled out for a civil suit. He settled out. She signed an NDA that she can't talk to the media, that she can't tell people what happened. Cool, no problem. Guess what? You ain't never said the police can't come and question her. You never said the feds can't come and answer the questions what happened between y'all and what evidence do she have to prove this, right? Because the NDA is thrown out the window now. Because now you cannot sign an NDA if you're trying to withhold criminal activity. It doesn't apply, right? So we get a whiff of that. Now Puffy's in high places. Now, if this is true, everything he's saying, they saying it is looking real bad. Now, Casey, but sex trafficking, underage sex trafficking, and I'm not sure what other charges that he may have or may be facing. But when you're saying those things, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. So if he does get caught, is it going to be like an Epstein? Or if he doesn't get caught, is it going to say he killed himself and he really didn't? I don't know. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm struggling with. I'm trying to figure it out. See what I'm talking about? I'm trying to figure it out right now at this second in game. What's the mental capacity of Puff Daddy? P Diddy. I know P Diddy right now. I know he needs some Ashker one because I know he's stressed. I know that nigga is stressed, and can't believe that as Sharp said, and Malcolm X, the Roots says they had came home to roost, right? Or something like that. You know the saying. You know, the chickens came home to roost, something like that. Yeah, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, what Puffy end up being is now he's with Cassie and all this. So now we fast forward to where he's actually getting indicted and had her sign an NDA. The feds must have came in, kicked down the door. Boom! Cassie, we need all the information that you got on him and things like that. And everybody know when the feds get involved, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? As I was talking, Sharp, like what's he said, Cat Williams said, 2024, you're gonna see what's gonna happen. So now we're seeing what's actually happening now. So that NDA, how to get the information, got the NDA from Cassie. Cassie give them all the information because the NDA don't apply. She still got the money on the back end, pause, from Puffy because he wanted to settle out of court instead of taking it all the way to trial. See what I'm saying? See the difference? So this is how you're getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? So now, if that happens, the feds, now this is why I'm bringing it full circle with the Biggie thing. Now today, I think today or the other day, whenever he got raided, Puffy, do you know it's Biggie 27th anniversary for life after death? And when did Biggie die? How old was Biggie when he passed away? Was he 27? Or was he older than that? Somebody put in the chat and let me know, was he older than that? You know what I'm saying? Let me find out. Let me find out. I'm finding out. Biggie was 24 years old when he passed away. Wow. And it's 27-year anniversary right now from life after death. So now, so they raided Puffy career. The feds got involved, right? Feds got involved. They chilling, boom, boom, boom. They come kick down the door. Puffy not nowhere to be found. But his kids is there? But his kids are there? Are you serious? Wow. Okay, so you leave your kids there, and they say he fled the country. He fled the Antigua. I don't know. That's what they say. I don't know. But what I do have is they said he was in Miami or something like that in the reports. But I'm gonna play this report right here by Miami news anchors, and they'll give us some stories on what's going on. So let me just see. All right.
And off the top at 5:30, we continue to follow breaking news out of Star Island. Several law enforcement agencies are raiding the home of hip-hop mogul P. Diddy.
And tonight, we are learning it may be tied to alarming allegations. Let's get right out to CBS News Miami's Larry Seward. He joins us live from the scene with what we know so far. So, Larry, what can you tell us at this point?
Authorities not confirming very much beyond the fact that this is part of an ongoing investigation started by Homeland Security investigations in the state of New York. Behind me, that is the entrance to Star Island. You can see the Miami Beach police car there at the entrance. If you look to your right, you can see this is where the Homeland Security investigations are set up with their command posts. We've seen not only HSI police, we've also seen an FBI agent and numerous other officers going in and out of the house that is behind it. You can see the beige complex there. That home, we understand, according to property records, owned by Sean Combs, or Diddy as he is known. That property, again, being searched at this hour. We also know, obviously, Sean Diddy Combs has properties in Los Angeles and New York. We understand from our colleagues in Los Angeles that earlier today, helicopter hovered above one of Diddy's homes there, that a similar law enforcement they showed up there as well to search the property. It's not clear exactly what they're searching for or the details of the investigation. We've asked Homeland Security about that. They're only saying that this is part of an ongoing investigation.
So they say Homeland Security, ongoing investigation. They got the feds, they got the detectives, they got the FBI, they got the HI. They got people out there I never heard of before. So Puffy like a terrorist right now.
Led by New York, but obviously the properties in Los Angeles and the property here in Miami being searched as we speak. We're going to stay on top of this story and bring you more details as we get it. But back here live, we're looking at, again, HSI police setting up their investigation at this house. You can look and see the driveway, the gate. It looks like that gate has been disabled because it's sort of just leaning up against the pillar on the side as they're backing a van up into the property. Again, we're going to try to get as much information as we can. We talked to neighbors. They told us that these police officers showed up about 2 or 3 hours ago. So again, we'll dig for information, have more for you as it comes out. For now, we're live on Star Island. Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
And we begin with the latest on breaking news. Federal agents raiding the Los Angeles and Miami Beach homes of rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. And tonight we are learning the raids could be linked to a probe into sex trafficking.
Let's get right out to CBS News Miami's Larry Seward. He is live from Star Island. Larry, walk us through what happened and what's going on right now.
Well, behind me right now, Homeland Security investigators are at the edge of Diddy's driveway. No sign of him in the last 4 hours since we've been here, but we did see earlier a swarm of those agents head toward the house, which is on your left where you see that SUV with the lights. The gate appeared to be broken. Witnesses say the raid started about 3 this afternoon. Investigators took a K-9 from U.S. Customs and Border Patrol to help with their search.
So what are they actually looking for if the K-9 and everybody's out there looking for the situation? I'm just trying to figure out what they actually looking for. Is it computers? Is it hard drives? Is it him himself? Is it a warrant for him, or is warrant for is it a body warrant, or is it a warrant for a certain item or certain things that they're looking for, like electronics and stuff? I'm just trying to figure it out.
HSI will only say that this is part of an ongoing investigation led by their New York office on top of the Miami raid. HSI sent agents into a Los Angeles home owned by Sean Diddy Combs. It's not clear, though, who or what authorities were after. but it certainly has neighbors and people working on Star Island curious. And questions do you have?
Oof. How dangerous could be for us? Because, you know, we work around this area.
Illegal aliens?
Take a look at Sean Diddy Combs. This is a very wealthy community where his house lies on Star Island with celebrities among his neighbors. One woman who did not want to be identified told us she's not surprised because of sexual assault lawsuits filed against Diddy in recent months. Back here live, you're looking at the edge of his driveway. Investigators still collecting evidence as we speak. We'll have an update for you coming up at 11. For now, we are live on Star Island. Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
Sean Combs, the music
Get him on.
recently
I'm giving y'all
inundated with a
exclusives
wave
right
of
now.
sexual assault and sex trafficking allegations and lawsuits, is now the focus of federal law enforcement after it comes out multiple properties associated with the rapper have been raided by federal agents. Former FBI and CIA agent Tracy Walder breaks down what these raids could mean for the rapper and music executive. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. He is a man of many names.
Now, Sidebar is a little long, so I'm just going to hear what they got to say for a little bit. And then we can actually break Sidebar down and see what's going on, see what they're talking about. But, you know, let's see what they're talking about.
Diddy. His legal name, Sean Combs. You know who I'm talking about. The rapper, producer, entertainment icon, reported billionaire. He has been in the spotlight a lot over the last few months, and I will tell you, not in a good way. And now he is in the news in a shocking development. Federal agents have raided homes, properties associated with the rapper in Miami and Los Angeles. This is reportedly pursuant to search warrants from the Southern District of New York. A Homeland Security investigation spokesperson told ABC News on Monday, quote, earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, that's Homeland Security, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. According to NBC News, a source indicated that federal authorities have interviewed 3 women and 1 man in New York in connection to allegations of human trafficking, sexual assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms, and that interviews with other individuals are also planned. Now, to be very clear, we don't know whether Combs is the target of this trafficking investigation, what his connection is in any way. And we also can't confirm to you at the time of this recording if Diddy has been detained or arrested, if he's even in the country. There are videos that
we don't know if he's in the country, but we know it's about him. So let's not act like it's not about him. All right. We know the sex trafficking is about him. Let's stop playing these games.
Have circulated online about him being at the Miami airport while this was going on. Reporting also indicates his jet may have left the country. Some reporting indicating the jet is possibly in the Caribbean. We just don't know. And I will tell you, at the time of this recording, no criminal charges have been filed in connection with this investigation, as far as we know. What we do know, or what I should say our Sidebar viewers and listeners will know, is that this development may not be that much of a surprise. Why do I say that? Because we dedicated several shows to the recent lawsuits against Diddy, his family, associates, companies for allegations of sex trafficking, sexual abuse, harassment, allegations of firearm possession, a shooting, drugs. Now, to be clear, while we talk about these lawsuits today, we do not know if they are in any way connected to this investigation, but we do clearly have a lot to get into. So with that, without further ado, let me bring in right now Tracy Walder, former CIA and FBI agent, national security contributor for News Nation, author of The Unexpected Spy, was with me last night as I was hosting Dan Abrams Live talking about this. Tracy, good morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning, Jesse. Thank you for having me.
All right, your overall thoughts on this raid. What a development this is.
You know, it is quite a development, but, you know, just like you mentioned before, I'm not necessarily surprised that it happened because there has been so much in regards to civil cases. Now, I realize that those civil cases are going to have no bearing on the raids that occurred. I understand that. But at the same time, in my opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire. And a lot of these civil cases probably have criminal merit at some point. And so I'm not necessarily surprised that this happened, but what will surprise me, and I think might surprise some people, is the sheer volume and connection of any kind of sex trafficking ring that he allegedly may have been running. I think that is what is going to
Wow,
come probably as the most surprising to folks, how in depth something like this was, how
hold up. She said a sex ring that he was running. See, that's important. Sex ring that he was running. Let's go. Let's go. That's crazy.
long something like this may have gone on for and how many people were involved. Typically, HSI really looks at sex trafficking in regards to minors. And so that's another layer to this as well that I think is probably the surprising component.
And I mean, last night, a lot of people were making comparisons. Oh, he's the Jeffrey Epstein of the hip hop world. Now, again, he hasn't been charged. And even if he is charged, he'll be
That's what I
innocent until
said.
proven guilty. Having said that, I'm reading through these lawsuits, and I remember one of his associates was compared to being the Ghislaine Maxwell of this situation. So there are these kinds of connections that people are making. We'll get into it a little bit more. But going back to the raid, why do you think it happened when it happened, right? It's not just because it was a sunny day in Los Angeles and Miami. The timing of this, I have to feel, is very strategic.
Look, you're absolutely right. Yes, it was actually a beautiful day
Yeah.
on both coasts, quite frankly, to conduct this raid. I've participated
FBI.
in several raids during my time with the FBI, and that's actually not uncommon, particularly in federal type of crimes, which is what we're looking at here. Crimes that are going to cross state borders. The key in something like this, in a nonviolent crime, is to the preservation of evidence. That's what is so important here. And that is why I believe this was done at exactly the same time. It's actually not unusual. It's something that is done, and sometimes it's less about capturing the person and more about ensuring that evidence is still there, evidence has not been destroyed, and we can get as much as possible.
Would that mean they had some sort of knowledge or some sort of belief that evidence was about to be destroyed at that moment?
And I struggle to make this comparison, so hopefully people won't be frustrated. But this is actually similar what we saw with former President Trump at Mar-a-Lago, in that they had some indication that evidence was in the process of perhaps being
He had the black
destroyed
dove on like
or was potentially going
like
to be
OJ.
destroyed. And so what I think is, in this case, they may have had an indication, that evidence was being moved, was being destroyed. Participants were moving around and trying to, squirrel away evidence. And so, yes, sometimes you have to act under a sense of urgency. I don't know, in terms of a criminal case, what's being built against Diddy. As you mentioned, he is currently at the taping of this show, not under any criminal charges. But it's probably correct to assume that evidence was perhaps going to be destroyed imminently.
And
All right. So basically, somebody tipped the FBI off that Puffy's about to destroy some information. So that's telling me it's somebody higher than Puffy. And somebody told Puffy, you need to get out of there because they're about to come. So whatever he could destroy, he destroyed. Um, from watching law movies and stuff like that, knowing a little bit about the law. They like to keep souvenirs. People that do wear and do sex crime like to keep souvenirs. Like allegedly, like Chris, I'm biased with the butt plugs. Like Chris, I'm biased with the cell phones. Why would you keep that type of stuff? Because they like souvenirs. Because they mental is, I don't know. Because I can't get into their mental, but but she said some very important stuff right there, though. Just to let y'all know. I'm bringing y'all some stuff that you ain't gonna see nowhere else. I'm bringing it actually from an FBI point of view. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bringing it from anybody else's point of view. An FBI who's been in raised, who's been, who has more knowledge of a situation like this. So he don't have any criminal charges against him. They just raiding his home for evidence and for information to see if he's guilty. That's what I'm getting right now. I could be wrong.
I know there was reporting to indicate that certain items
Hold
were
up.
removed from the house. That's what was observed yesterday, or removed from the properties. I am reminded of something from one of the lawsuits, one of the recent lawsuits that we covered here on Sidebar. It was filed by a producer of Diddy's, former producer, Little Rod Jones. This was for sexual assault, harassment, really disturbing allegations. But Jones alleged that Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his homes and these secret recordings of celebrities and associates that he says has, quote, compromising footage of every person that has attended his party. So the first thing that I thought of yesterday, what could they be looking for potentially if this is a sex trafficking investigation, is whether there's videotapes and the camera system, right?
Right. And so I think, and I was going to mention this, digital evidence is key. Obviously, in this at this point in time, it's really easy to destroy digital evidence. It's not something that's difficult to do, which is why they went in there and went in there simultaneously. Again, you made the comparison to Epstein. I think Epstein, he was also recording and also had secret cameras really throughout all of his homes, private planes, all of that. And
crazy.
his client list was more about politicians. Here, I think what we're going to see are clients involved in the entertainment business or pop culture, if you will. And so I do think right now this is going to be a huge web that they're going to have to untangle. And I'm expecting it's going to take quite some time to go through all of that digital evidence, because I fully expect that he had cameras in other locations as well. It's my understanding that those aren't just his two sole places of residence and where he spends time. So I suspect there will be more digital evidence.
And by the way, before we get into the substance of any of these lawsuits, if Diddy,
hold on, before we get into the lawsuits, so if he had other homes, it is just raid these homes, is there going to be more raids, or he might not have kept his information there? It could have been at another home. So, hey, it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting out here. So let's continue.
left the country, right? If the reporting is indicated that he fled or left, that would signify to me he was tipped off, right? I mean, anytime you have somebody, and again, we don't know if he was detained. We don't know if he was arrested. I would think not. Wouldn't that information have come out? Because a part of me thought that he might have been detained, put in one of those transport vehicles, maybe brought in. We just didn't know about it. I imagine we might know about it today. Maybe not. I'll ask you. But also, if he had left the country, that means someone tipped him off. And I think that would be of a concern, right?
Oh, of course, that would be of concern. I was looking at the flight log of, I believe he has a Gulfstream. It looks to me like that plane landed in Antigua at about 9 a.m. So actually, that would have been before this raid occurred, right? So then you would have a difficult time saying, he was leaving because of the raid.
And we don't know if he's on it. We don't know if he's on that plane or what the deal is.
You don't know who the passengers are on the plane. You just know that it's traveling somewhere. Well, people have.
Yeah, it could be traveling somewhere with all the tapes and all the information in Antigua, and y'all can't get it. So that's what he probably did. He probably put all the information on the plane, sent the plane to Antigua to get it destroyed. All right, let's go.
Private planes, and they use them for things other than when they are on them, right? And so we also know too that he was at the Miami airport. There was footage of him kind of seen pacing on the phone. I believe that they had a specific warrant for him, but again, this is just me speculating.
Sure.
I believe if they had a specific warrant for him, they would have probably arrested him at that point in time. I'm not saying that an arrest isn't going to be forthcoming, but I truly believe, and I said this last night when I was speaking with you, that the execution of these warrants was really about the preservation of evidence and less about arresting him. I suspect that may come at a later time.
Hey, we're going to get back to this Diddy discussion in a minute. Crazy development. But I have to highlight one of our incredible partners here on Sidebar. I love talking about them. Morgan & Morgan, the sponsor of this video, America's largest injury law.
Let's go a little fast forward.
On your phone. Why the manpower? And the reason I'm going to take a guess, I'm going to take a stab at this, is because I go back to what I read in the lawsuits. Again, the lawsuits are lawsuits. They're allegations. But his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, she filed a lawsuit against him in November of 2023. She ended up settling, but she accused Diddy of not only physically and sexually abusing her, allegedly forcing her into sexual slavery and sex trafficking, but she claimed that he beat her, forced her to have sex with prostitutes on video while he watched and masturbated, but also forced her to carry a gun for him. She also alleged that Combs blew up rapper Kid Cudi's car because he found out that Cudi was romantically interested in Ventura. Then, in one of the latest lawsuits that I mentioned from Little Rod Jones, Jones brings up this event, a shooting that happened at Chalice Record Studios out in Los Angeles, where apparently he says there was a heated fight between Combs, his son Justin, who was actually handcuffed yesterday, or the reporting indicates he was handcuffed, and Justin's friend identified as G. Gunshots rang out. G was lying on the ground with blood coming out of his leg and hip area. Combs allegedly told his team to tell police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. And then Jones, in the lawsuit, provided screenshots of the bloodstained bathroom where he claims G was shot by either Combs or his son, and claims he still has the clothing for evidence. Now, again, I say all that to believe they think that they're entering into a violent environment, right?
Let me go back a little bit. They absolutely would have every reason to believe that they are going into a violent environment. And, really, Diddy's history with violence and firearms goes back pretty far, even into the time when he was dating Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
Am I a psychic?
That had occurred.
I never
as well.
saw this,
believe
y'all.
It was
I
at
promise
a
you.
nightclub. There was a shooting there as well that he was involved in, although
I
it
never
could
saw
be
this. I
incorrect.
promise you. I never
No. And by the way, in one of the latest lawsuits, that is brought up. And basically, the
Right.
allegation was that Diddy was involved in that shooting, but had someone cover for him.
Cover for him.
Yeah.
And that's how I had recalled that as well. And so they
Sean,
had
not
every
just
reason to
somebody, it was
believe that the
Sean.
FBI, and again, FBI is not HSI, but they operate the same in terms of how they're executing warrants and things of that nature. If you believe you're going into a hostile environment, you are going to bring your special teams with you, whether that's a SWAT team, those kinds of things, they're going to come with you. And so the fact that his sons were handcuffed, and I know there was a lot of discussion about that, about how it wasn't fair, that's actually very proper procedure. And that's to ensure the safety of everyone. His sons are adults. They are known to have weapons. They may not have been arrested, but handcuffing them until you are sure that the home is secure and all weapons are secure is actually a very valid and very normal thing to do. Additionally, so you have that with the history of violence and weapons, there's no question. But then you also have teams that have to go in there and process all of that digital evidence that we just talked about. So you have these massive SWAT and tactical teams going in to disarm. And then you also have agents going in there to collect evidence. So that is why this is such a large group of people. Also, Jesse, I'm from LA. This area in Holmby Hills, where one of his homes were, is massive.
This was some really Chicago PD law and order type stuff, huh? This is real live footage. So actually, right now, this is going to be history. This is stuff that you're going to be telling your kids what's going on. This is stuff that you're actually living through, and get to talk about the entertainers in your time and the things that they did and things that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So have a mental note of this, that this is history that you're actually involved in real time.
Massive. So you need a lot of agents to cover the entirety of that area. So it's actually not surprising.
And we actually don't know. I mean, I saw reporting that it might actually be associated with Bad Boy Films production. Like that might be the home. So again, maybe it's, I don't know if it's personal residence or it's one of his company's properties.
I agree. That's what I had saw as well, is maybe the registered owner is that. That's difficult, right? Because the reality is he owns that production company.
Sure.
And
Yes,
so,
of course. Yeah.
And so the reality is that it's still associated with him, as he is the owner of that company. So look, it may not be his primary residence. I have no idea, obviously, but at the same time, it is a company that is known and documented to be associated with him, and his sons were there.
And let's talk about the sons, Justin and King Combs. So we saw this video, what appeared to be them in handcuffs. I said it yesterday on when I was seeing this, and you said it too. Not necessarily they are arrested and charged with a crime, but they could be just detained while the search is happening. Now, I say that, but again, the first thing that I thought was the Little Rod Jones lawsuit. And one of the things he talks about, and he alleges that this past summer, July 2nd, 2023, out in California, claims that Combs had a party with underage girls and sex workers at his home, and his son and an unidentified R&B artist were there. Quote, he is a Grammy award-winning R&B singer who had trouble with law enforcement after assaulting a Bajan billionaire. Now, again, embedded in that lawsuit are screenshots of.
So he didn't want to give up the other boy's name. It wasn't really about him, but he had to tell him something because he was there with underage girl. This is getting sick now. This is sick. This is sick. Puffy is a savage. He's an animal. And I don't mean that in a good way.
The video taken of this party where it allegedly,
if this is true,
shows Combs either kissing or dancing almost face to face with a purported underage girl. So many times in this latest lawsuit, his son is implicated in this alleged wrongdoing.
I believe, just like I do believe that charges for Diddy are forthcoming, I believe that charges for his sons most likely are as well. Now, given the raid and when it occurred, if they were in illegal possession of firearms based on California gun laws, then they could have probably taken them into custody right then and there for obvious reasons. I don't think that that's what they're going to do. I suspect that they were simply detained for the duration of the search and then they were let go. But again, I'm simply hypothesizing.
Now, where did they get that footage of Puffy underage with the underage girl kissing face to face? And how do they know that's an underage girl? And if you they can't really show her because she's underage, right? Just asking a question, y'all. Just asking a question.
Here, but I do think at this point, if his sons had been arrested and formally booked, we would know probably at this point based on public access to those documents, and we don't know that information. And so I just assume that for the safety of everyone there, they were physically detained during the duration of the search, which again is very normal procedure in something like this.
There obviously been a lot of reaction and a lot of response to that, including in the celebrity route. I mean, 50 Cent posted on Instagram about the raids. Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case. Speaking of that, so if we think about the possibility of a sex trafficking investigation, sex trafficking related charges, if we go to December 2023, there was a woman who accused Combs and former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre and another person of sex trafficking and gang raping her when she was 17 years old. There was a Jane Doe who says that she was flown from Michigan to New York City, supplied with drugs and alcohol, and then assaulted by all three men at Combs's recording studios. Now, Combs, by the way, has always denied the allegations. And in fact, in response to one lawsuit, had posted, I believe it was on Instagram, enough is enough. The last couple of.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna play the other side because I don't believe saying devil's advocate because I'm not a devil and I don't play an advocate for the devil, so I don't play that side. So let me just play the other side. So they said a girl was flown out from somewhere to Michigan or whatever, from Michigan to somewhere, right? And she had a lot of drugs. So can somebody make you take drugs if you don't take drugs? Now, I understand they can slip you a Mickey and things like that, but the way they talking about they was doing cocaine and all that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying like she would slip something because he would have said that, you know what I'm saying? He said they made him take drugs. So I'm a little confused. I don't think nobody can really make you take drugs. I think she was partying. She partied too much. She thought she was partying. It was just Puffy. She thought it was just being her and Puffy, and then the other two men or the other three men came, and then she felt pressure, and then. You know, I don't know what happened at that point. So then I think somebody can take advantage of you that way. Yes. But as far as making you take something and making you do that, no, I don't think nobody can make you do anything. They either have to kill you or really torture you to think you do it. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion.
Weeks I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do, and he goes on to say, did not do this. Now, again, that was in relation to a lot of these lawsuits being filed. But when we're talking about sex trafficking, Tracy, and we're talking about the Southern District of New York possibly initiating this search warrant, where does your mind go in terms of what we might be looking at in terms of potential charges, potential allegations, and how it's connected to New York?
So I absolutely believe, and again, simply my hypothesis, he is innocent until proven guilty, that he will be arrested and indicted on sex trafficking charges. I have no doubt about that. And I do believe that he was most likely the kingpin of this. These girls, what that tells me, if it's out of the Southern District of New York, is this is spanning multiple states, and that he is trafficking or allegedly trafficking girls across multiple states across the United States. This isn't just an isolated incident in one location. And so I have heard things as well about his Hamptons parties and things happening in those Hamptons parties as well. So I suspect more evidence may come out as a result of that. But these are extremely serious charges. And part of me too is frustrated by somewhat the complacency, right, of the entertainment industry as a whole in this. And I think sometimes people fly under the radar for a long time, like Epstein did as well, because people are scared. People want to still climb the ranks. And we're doing it all the while sort of sacrificing the safety of these young victims or girls that are involved in this. And that is deeply troubling.
Before we get into more of this, I hear you, and I think, it's...
Yo, Puffy is a sick individual, and now he's a sick individual. He's bringing his kids up like this. You know what I'm saying? So they was taught this. If they involve underage girls.
Really, really frightening to think about. I mean, I read all these allegations and the lawsuits, and I was
like and subscribe
never heard anything like it. And obviously, we don't know exactly where this investigation is going. But if Combs is charged with federal crimes here, but he's not in the country, and he's actually in a country or a jurisdiction where there's no extradition agreement, how do you get him back? What do federal authorities do?
That's a really good question. And I looked up just because I was curious actually about Antigua. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. Some I do, some I don't. But we do have an extradition treaty with them. Right now, though, because of the public nature of this, I have a very hard time believing that a country would allow his plane to land with him on it in their country. They don't have to let him land if they don't want to. And so I think that it would be very difficult for him to be able to land in an inhospitable country simply because they don't want him. We do have extradition treaties with more countries than I think people would think. And typically they will send folks back to us as long as we take the death penalty off of the table. And I don't believe that this is a death penalty case. It's Southern District of New York. And so I believe that whether we have an extradition treaty or not with whatever country he may or may not go to, they will send him back.
And talk to me about what you think they have in terms of a case, because, right, you say they want to preserve the evidence for a potential prosecution against either him or someone else. There's a criminal case building, but they had to have probable cause for the search warrant to be issued. And I wonder, I mentioned some of the interviews. They wouldn't have had enough to try to arrest him first and then do the raid, or they need the raid first to see what's at the property before they can build a case and build charges and then arrest him. Talk to me about the timeline of how this typically works in terms of if we're seeing.
I guess they're trying to build a case first,
properties.
And then go
does
get
that
it
in conjunction with an arrest? Does that come before an arrest? Does that, how does it typically work?
Typically, Jesse, it's in conjunction with an arrest. But I started thinking about this a little bit more last night, and I was thinking that if he has videos or his associates have videos, and they are attempting to distribute those of young male children or female children, that means that a child is in imminent danger. And so part of me wonders if this was done to stop that, and that they will get to the arrest obviously at some point, because as you mentioned, typically these warrants are served and there's usually an indictment that goes hand in hand with that at the same time. So in my opinion, it's not unheard of. It's just a little bit unusual. We don't typically see this. Anytime we did raids at the FBI of this nature, we also had an arrest warrant for the individual as well. And so it is unusual, but I don't want to say it's unheard of. And again, I'm just speculating, but part of me wonders if this was still actively being distributed. And if it is, they need to shut that down immediately.
Were you surprised at the response that we saw from Douglas Wigdor? This is a lawyer for Cassie Ventura and one of the Jane Doe.
Let me want to know what she said real quick. I just want to rewind and make sure I heard what she said correctly. That's all. I just want to make sure I heard what she said.
Because, as you mentioned, typically these warrants are served and there's usually an indictment that goes, hand in hand with that at the same time. So in my opinion, it's not unheard of. It's just a little bit unusual. We don't typically see this. Anytime we did raids at the FBI of this nature, we also had an arrest warrant for the individual as well. And so it is unusual, but I don't want to say it's unheard of. And again, I'm just speculating, but part of me wonders if this was still actively being distributed. And if it is, they need to shut that down immediately.
So basically, Puffy don't have no arrest warrant. So all that stuff that Puffy fled the country because he's about to get arrested, because two things is true. House did get raided, right? And they saying that he fled the country. No, but the only thing that was true that his house got raided and his jet went out of the country. That's not saying that he was out of the country. That's not saying he was on the jet. You see what I'm saying? So it's real tricky. So he don't even have a warrant yet for his arrest. But not saying it's not coming. But like she said, that's unusual for that to happen like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's some higher ups that's pulling some strings around here too. I'm gonna let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion,
Were you surprised at the response that we saw from Douglas Wigdor? This is a lawyer for Cassie Ventura and one of the Jane Does in response to reports of this search warrant that was issued on Sean Combs. Now, remember, Cassie Ventura settled with Sean Combs, but the statement says, quote, "We will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct." Now, again, in light of that settlement doesn't necessarily mean you're saying Combs is completely innocent. It's you've agreed to resolve the issue. Doesn't absolve him of wrongdoing, but to make that statement, I think that's something to be said. Now, again, of course, he's representing someone else that's continually suing Sean Combs. But again, that statement I thought was really interesting. What was your take on it?
Yeah, I thought that statement was interesting. My question about it, though, is did he tip them off? Did he provide them with information? Did Cassie Ventura or any of these individuals involved in these civil suits also provide evidence along with that to build this criminal case? Because obviously those two things are separate. So in my opinion, in listening to that statement, it actually sounds like maybe they did. And that's incredible that they did that.
Like I said, I'm telling y'all, I did not see this. I did not see this at all. I didn't even know this was coming up, actually. But what I will say is that, once again, I was right. You know what I'm saying? That's the ashwagandha keeping me sharp. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. She said it all. He said it all. That Puffy is not arrested, right? They do have warrant for his home. You know what I'm saying? He's a sick individual, pretty much. And that Cassie and the other girls told the law enforcement actually and gave them the information they have, the tapes and all that type of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Because they had a civil case, like she said, was separate from a criminal case. This is criminal. If it was a civil case, they couldn't do nothing. But being though it's criminal, they can give some information up. That's crazy. It's crazy out here.
Because
so that settlement might have been 10 million real quick. People told her she should have waited, but now I get the 10 million and now I can do a criminal charge on instead of going criminal on them. Oh man, this might have been a plan altogether. This might have been a plan since day one, from not day one, but somebody was in Cassie's ear telling how to get him back.
I believe that Cassie Ventura was absolutely a victim of pretty horrific things. And if she was able to document all of that and provide evidence, then that absolutely would go to building his criminal case.
It's so crazy to think about this. I mean, again, And I'm not surprised by that connection to New York, because I go back to Little Rod Jones, and he said he was assaulted at different places, including in New York. So again, what can we expect next to happen as this story develops? And I imagine it's going to develop quite rapidly.
I agree with you. I think it's going to develop quite rapidly as well. I think the next thing that will happen is an indictment of P. Diddy. That's what I think, and that he will be taken into custody hopefully soon at some point. But honestly, I don't. I'm not sure. This is, like I said, a little
Yeah.
bit unusual, and that there isn't an indictment yet. Although I think one may be forthcoming.
What about other individuals? Because remember, going back to one of the lawsuits, there was an allegation there were violations of the TVPA, the Trafficking and Victims Protection Act, big law aimed at fighting against domestic and international human slavery, and they were filing a civil action with respect to it. But you're basically saying these minors are engaging in commercial sex acts.
Mm.
I would imagine that if this is a really big operation, we could potentially see arrests of other individuals connected to the rapper, right?
I agree. I think we will probably see the arrest of one or both of his sons, because I believe that they, based on evidence in cases that we've seen in the past from civil perspective,
Wow. So
they
now
have
one of the
been
son's going down for a
allegedly
long
involved in this.
time.
But at the same time,
That's
too,
crazy.
I think that there may be a lot of people who have associated with him in his circle that are probably scared right now, because they may have had some involvement in this as well. And so, in my opinion, I think they will start at the top, obviously arresting Diddy or his sons. And from there, in my opinion, they may try to plea. I don't think he's going to completely avoid jail time or anything like that
Right.
if he's indicted, but maybe they will try to plead to get names of other individuals that are associated with
So they
this.
want
But
him to
again,
snitch.
completely my hypothesis, Jesse.
And I'll leave on this.
So her father's saying that start snitching, and you might not have to do no jail time. We looking for the big kahunas. We looking for the big dog who's pulling strings with you and who tipped you off and who tipped everybody else off. That's who we looking at. The politicians, the lawyers, the the chief of police, people like that. You know what I'm saying? The commissioner, the mayor.
Yes, there was reporting, there was an allegation that Combs may have been allegedly harassing Mr. Jones because of that lawsuit that he filed. Jones alleges that Combs sent agents to intimidate his 8-year-old daughter and the mother of his child and his ex-wives. So you talk about the imminence of this raid. You talk about the manpower put forward by this raid. If that is true, and again, we don't know if it's connected to the lawsuit in any way, but that's something
He said agents. What is actually agents? Help me out, chat. Let me know. Hit that like and subscribe button. What is agents? You know what I'm saying? Let me know.
else to think about, right?
100%. He has a pretty long documented history of threatening individuals and asking them to, I guess, clean up his mess or clean up his dirty work, if you will. And so that is not at all surprising to me. And I do assume that individuals who may have been involved in speaking out or testifying in any of these civil cases may also be awarded some type of security and protection as well.
Tracy Walder, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Wow. I think that was awesome. So I'm gonna end it there. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all got a lot of information as far as what ashwagandha was. Hope Chess, you hope you figure that out. You know, Chess, I don't think that you're done. I think you just have to get your anxiety under control. But far as P. Diddy, I think that you may be done unless you start snitching on other people. And if that's the case, I won't be surprised if you end up like Epstein, or if they take you out before Epstein, before you get to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because the heat is on. You got one of your sons involved in this tragedy. Oh my goodness. She said not one, but maybe both. I hope not. I hope not. Protect the kids. Protect your own kids. I know they're adults, but protect your kids. Protect the kids. But other than that, man, thank y'all for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all are awesome. Like I said, y'all could be anywhere, but y'all rocking out with me. Thanks for rocking out with me. Like I said, rock with me, build this page up. We're gonna build together. And hit that like and subscribe button. Obviously, I want you to definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that like and subscribe button. Yeah, make sure y'all hit that. You know what I'm saying? I can't sing, but I try. 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 But other than that, y'all, thank you. Salute to everybody. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like and subscribe button once again. If you want to talk about anything, leave it in the comments or hit me on Twitter at Let's Talk About It 1414 or hit me on Instagram, Let's Talk About It 1414 or V Guaranteed 1 VEEGARANTEED. That's what it is. We out of here. Peace.